have somebody who's going to give you a very special training, somebody who has been in this company for a long time. She is absolutely, without a doubt, an amazing, brilliant soul who is so good at trading. Okay? She has been in this company for a while. She has helped change so many lives. Seriously, you guys, if you don't know Dr. Kathy Kirkland, the queen of the cloud, you are doing yourself a disservice, okay? I want you guys to get to know her today, because today we're going to be launching her strategy for the web analyzer, okay? It's an amazing strategy. It's very simple. There's not anything complicated about it. Anybody can do it. Just like you've heard in the testimonial videos that we've shared on Telegram or in the Facebook group, anybody can use the web analyzer, but definitely anybody can use this strategy. So, Kathy, can you hear me? Are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, I just unmuted.
Perfect. We can hear you. Thank you for joining the call, Kathy. I know you're busy and I know you've got a lot to do, so thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. It's an honor to be on here with you guys. I am excited. I am so ready to get started with this. You guys, I've been with iMarkets Live since 2016 and have done really well. I met Stephen personally last year in Detroit. Sat down, had a talk with him, love him so much. He is so sweet, so respectful and honorable, and super smart, and very super smart. And I think, thank him for allowing me to come on and spend some time with you. And what I appreciate the most is he has the same vision that I have. And I want to make sure that everyone learns how to trade. And even if we got to help out a little bit, the way he introduced his web analyzer to make it easy for those that are sneaking on at work trying to trade while you're still on your regular job. All you got to do is listen for that cha-ching sound and to get into your trades and everything. But I thank God for it. For those that don't know me, I am Dr. Kathy Kirkland. I live here in Texas. I'm a pastor of a church here, co-pastor of a church here. I've been co-pastor going on 10 years now. I've been evangelizing for 20 years. And I got kind of caught up in the rat race of life. Life caught up with me. And we had the Great Recession back in 2008. I was a real estate agent during that time. I was doing really good, making a lot of good money, independent, because I thought everybody had to have a place to stay. But when the economy gets tight, people start downsizing, moving in with their parents, or, getting roommates and getting apartments and things like that. So when the real estate market crashed, my whole world crashed right along with it, along with my 401k that I had worked for from age 19 up until 40 something. I won't give my full age, but my birthday is tomorrow. But up until 40 something. So, and I only had $50,000 in my 401k account. And you would think that's a lot of money, but it's really not for a family of 7. $100,000 a year is not a lot of money for a family of 7. So when the real estate market crashed and my 401k crashed right along with it, along with everything else. My husband was in the military for 25 years. And we were living off a half a check. I had 4 kids in college, and I had a 4-year-old at the time. And so when that happened, I was devastated. I was about to lose everything. I lost a few properties. I had a padlock on my door here at the house, and we were really struggling. And I knew that it had to be something else, because I'm looking at the wealthy and the rich, and they're not being affected by the economy. So I'm like, okay, they're doing something that I'm not doing. Every 7 to 10 years, we hit a recession, and the recession dictates to my house. But as of 2016, it no longer dictated to my house. So I ran into a friend of mine gave me a call, Dr. Jewel Tankard. A lot of people know her, show her some love. She gave me a call, and she said, hey, I'm coming down to Dallas. And I got a phone call from Lawrence Young, and he was telling me about how they could show us how to trade and learn how to trade and make money at the same time. Well, she's a superstar, so she's super rich, her and her husband. And I didn't want my rich friends to know that I was broke. So I was like, no, I don't know. She said, no, come on down. And so I go down, and I ran into Austin Ghazi, and he gave me his testimony. And of course, I judged him by looking at him. And, forgive me, a lot of y'all do too, because I'm looking at this kid, because he was my son's age. And he's talking about, I made X amount of dollars. And I'm looking at him. I was like, I'm sitting up here broke, busted, and disgusted, and this baby is up here making 6 figures. How? How is he doing it? So, you know, he told us and everything, and Christopher Terry told us, you know, if you can copy and paste, then I could teach you how to make money. And so I came home all excited and everything, and I was telling my friends about it. And I'm really hyped because I gave my last to join the company because I had already tried everything else. And so, you know, you never come back home asking broke people how to invest your money. So, of course, they kind of talked me out of it. I was discouraged, disappointed, but then I began to pray about it. And I began to, you know, tell God, I was like, okay, how can I be the head and not the tail? How can I be the lender and not the borrower? I'm a preacher, you know, and I preach a word, I do this and I do that. You know how you plead your case, you know, when you're struggling, you plead your case with God. How? So, and he gave me Ecclesiastes-11:1. The Good News translations, and it states that it is good to enter into foreign trade because you never know what bad luck this world is going to give you. And you need a minimum of 7 streams of income in order to survive. So when I saw that and I realized that IML is not a scam the way my friends were saying that it was, and, you know, from what other people were saying, when I realized it was not a scam, that it was a God-written skill set in a man-made company, I was all in. So I was like, how can I tell other people about it that don't believe in you, don't believe in the Bible, don't believe that, you know, that you were who you were just a mere story in the Bible? And he said, just Google it. So I did, and I found out that foreign exchange has been around for 2015 years. It has never closed its doors, never filed bankruptcy, never laid anybody off, never missed a payment. And it's the only thing that I know of that has survived every economic crisis that this world has had for 2015 years. So I'm like, okay, so I'm all in. It didn't win, lose, whatever. I'm all in, because if I could work 25 years or 20 years on a job to get a half a check and then lose it all in one recession, then, you know, okay, I need to try something else. So I got on one night, and I believe it was Christopher Derrick or Mike Miles, because it was them two, the only two that was doing the live trading at the time. I got on with them, and they showed me how to do certain things. Everything looked like Greek, Hebrew, and Chinese. And I had $40 I put in, and literally in a matter of 1 hour, my $40 turned into 3 figures. And I'm screaming and hollering because my husband's like, okay, we got to file bankruptcy. You won't get a job. You ain't doing what you're supposed to. We're going to lose everything. I need you to go to work. And I was like, no, I did that. You did it for 30 years, got a half a check, and we lost everything anyway. So I'm going to do this. And so I was so happy that, Stephen, can I give the amount, or do I give a disclaimer at the same time? Or I can't hear you.
I think we definitely have to give a disclaimer and let people know that results aren't typical. But I think you can give your amount. I think that's okay.
Well, past results do not guarantee future results. Just because one person did it don't mean that you can do it, and it shouldn't motivate you to do it, but it lets you know that all things are possible. I took a $40 account, turned it into $500 within an hour just by copying and pasting, following exactly what Mike Miles and Christopher Derrick was telling me to do. And then I remember Christopher Terry was saying how money moves faster in the middle of the night. And while men slept, the wealthy got wealthier. So for one, it was an honor that I have never seen an owner that actually got up and put hands on with the people within this company. So I was like, okay, he's a billionaire. Let me follow him. So I got on with Christopher Terry, and he still does it. He gets on for the night owl session. If you're not on those sessions, you need to get on. Got on, did what he said do. Long story short, by 6 o'clock that morning, trading in the midnight hour, got on, and my account went from $40 to at about 8 or 9 o'clock that night. And by 6 that morning, after getting on with Christopher Terry, I had $1,000. So I remember the scripture in Ecclesiastes-11:1 stating that you need a minimum of 7 streams of income in order to survive. If you guys are not trading, you need to get trading. Don't run behind every wind of a new company that's popping up. Don't run behind everything that glitter is not gold. Stick with what works. So I started doing that. I was able to make 7 figures within 8 months. by doing this and have not turned back since. Now, I have my ups and downs, you know, we all do. You're going to have some bad trading days. You're going to be greedy. You're going to blow some accounts and things like that. But what I like about Stephen, he has created the web analyzer to let you know when to get in the trade and when to get out of the trade. And that's what I want to show you guys on today. I came up with a strategy. It's called the ECC-11 strategy.
Just to be clear, Kathy, by the way, this strategy you're going to teach us today, I don't mean to interject, but this strategy you're going to teach us today, it happens to be part of your knowledge and what you've done to clear your 7 figures, right?
Yes, this is what I use in order for me to get my 7 figures.
Okay.
This is what I use. It's the Ichimoku Kinko Hio. It's the cloud. That's why they call me the queen of the cloud. I love the cloud.
So for those of you listening, just keep in mind this lady, Kathy, this wonderful, amazing person has made 7 figures, and she's about to teach you how she was able to do that on a platform that makes it even better, even easier. I mean, that's insane value. So I hope you guys are listening, and I'm going to shut up and let the queen take over again.
Excuse me. But yes, I started with trading with the cloud. And the reason why I traded with the cloud was because when just reading up on different strategies, it lets you know what's going to happen in the future based off of the past and what it's currently doing. And so, and I was like, okay, I don't need to know, you know, I got my last little bit in. So I need to know where the market is going. And in order for me to know where it's going, I got to know where it's been. Because, you know, the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So if there's nothing new under the sun, then I know they're not creating new algorithms every single day just to throw us off. So it repeats itself. And so when I saw that pattern with the cloud, I decided to start using the cloud. So I called Stephen and I had told him about it, and I wanted to share my strategy. And I came up with a easier scalping strategy because I know it's kind of hard for some people to look at the cloud. For me, I was older, so I didn't have time to draw lines and, you know, and you know, do markup charts because I had a lot of other stuff going on. You know, I was still, you know, running a childcare facility, and I have an event planning business, and I have a few other things under my belt that I was doing, so I didn't have time to really stay up a lot. So I just needed to devote a small amount of time. So if you have your web analyzer, I would ask that you pull it up. And then I want to show you the strategy that I use. So this is the Ichimoku cloud. And if you go to strategies down here, you click on it. Then you go right here and you pull it down and you scroll down till you see ECC-11 strategy FX. You can click on it, click save settings and reload. I don't know why I reloaded there. I should let it alone. Now, of course, you know, majority of you on here should already know how to use it, how to use the web analyzer. I just want to show you how it works. The time frame over here is like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, and 4 hours. For the 10 pips and dip, I mostly use the 15-minute time frame. So for those that don't want to use the 5 minutes, you don't have to, or the 1 hour or the 4 hour, it will still give you an alert whenever price crosses. Now, one thing that you have to do when you get on here, because it's set up through TradingView, go to settings for your input. Now you see how it's looking now. The regular settings are 9, 26, and 52. So you go here to your conversion line period, change that to 6. You'll be able to see it much clearer once I do this. Go to your baseline periods, put on 13. And for your lag and span, now don't sleep on that lag and span. It says the lagging, but all the money is in that right there. So change that to 26. Once you do that, take that and put it, click OK. Click OK, and then go back to settings and go to style. Now the reason why I want you to change this is because on TradingView, the conversion line is blue. It's supposed to be red. So change your conversion line to red. Then go to your baseline, change your baseline to blue. And then click Okay. Okay, now you see that? Okay, so your red line is called your Tinkerson. That's your signal line. Your signal line, every time that crosses above the blue line, your blue line is considered, that's your Kinderson, that's considered to be your stop loss. For those that need a stop loss, your blue line is considered the stop loss. Your red line is considered the signal line. So whenever, that's called the TK cross. So whenever that red line crosses above the blue line, you get in for a buy. So let's go back. Somebody wants to know about the settings. The settings again are this. Hold on. Go to inputs. Your conversion line period is going to be 6. Your baseline is going to be 13. And your lagging span is going to be 26. Brian, that's your favorite, mine too. And okay, go click style. And then make your conversion line red, which is your signal line, and your baseline blue, which is your stop loss. The lagging span is already green and the leading line is already green. So just leave everything else the same and click OK. Okay, so now for the TK cross, and when we first started, I had a lot of friends that was in the same position that I was in. And so I made trading as simple as the red line crossing the blue line. You guarantee 10 pips. You don't have to have a whole lot of pips. It's good to collect a lot of pips at one time, but people that's coming in, that's struggling, that's trying to make money right away, 10 pips is a solid good 10 pips that you can get and make a decent amount of money. So if the red line crosses above the blue line, that's considered to be a buy. You can get in on the second candle to be for safe traders. You get in on the second candle, and then you set your take profit for 10 pips. Now, if you want to know exactly how far it's going to go, you'll get the alert of when it's going to go, but you still need to learn it at the same time. I always encourage everybody to make sure that you learn it. Don't just, dismiss it or rely on it because we are in the technology age, but sometimes technology can, fail us sometimes. So you got to learn this skill set. You have to learn this skill set. Yes, 15-minute time frame is where I do it. You can do the 5-minute, you can do the 1 hour or the 4 hour if you have the patience for it. Now, I am a better swing trader than I am a scalper because of the things that I have to do. I like to set it, forget it, come back, and look at the profits. But a lot of people don't have time. So red line, you got to change your colors. Red over blue is a buy. Your red line if it crosses under the blue, it has to cross. Like right in here, it has to cross. So we're on EUR USD. This is on the day. Let me go up here and change this to the 15-minute chart. Okay, right here. So if your red line is over the blue line, that's considered to be a buy. And then you get in on the second candle. So right here, when this red line crossed the blue, that's when it crossed. It crossed right here. This is the second candle. You would get in for the buy, and you could have wrote it all the way up to here for your take profit. And if you were on our team, you did this. We did this morning on IML TV. I used the web analyzer this morning. 25 weeks of 25 weeks documented positive pips with TK. Yes, come on, Brian. We got testimonies in here. Yes, so red over blue is a buy. Red under blue is a sell. So red over blue over the cloud is a buy. Red under blue under the cloud is a sell. Guaranteed 10 pips when it crosses. Get in on the second candle, or if you see an engulfing candle, go ahead and get in it. So again, for those, let me change this, let me mark it. So right here this is what's called the TK cross. When that red line crossed over that blue line, when it crossed, it gave you this candle right here, this red candle. You get in on the second candle, you get in right here, you ride it all the way up to there, or you do your take profit at 10 pips. Chanel, oh, that's okay. That's okay. You can be new to the cloud. Just you can post your questions in there, and I'll try and answer it. Okay, so everybody got that? Red over blue over the above the cloud is a buy.
Kathy, when you're done explaining, can you teach them how to apply the strategy as well?
Sure.
Thanks.
I sure can. And then red under the blue, under the cloud, is a sell. Okay, all right, let me erase that. Okay, so now how to apply the strategy when you see that crossing, that lets you know when it's time to buy or when to sell. What is the red line and the blue line? The red line is called your Tinkinson. Your blue line is called the Kensington. And Janelle read over the blue line is a buy, get in on the second candle. Yeah, for safe traders, get in on the second candle until you get familiar with it. Now, Stephen, is there anything specific that you want me to say? I won't be in Vegas, Stephanie. I'm sorry. I'm under doctor's orders, so I can't go.
Yeah, mostly just teach them how to apply the strategy template for EC-11.
Oh yeah.
ECC.
Okay, let me. Okay, I'll go back.
Apply it and use the indicators and everything.
Okay. So once you go here and everybody click on, if you have the strategy down here, you see the strategy at the bottom. You see that? If you click on ECC-11, did you guys already pull it up? Or some of you that can't pull it up. If you click on the ECC-11, it'll have all of these on over here. You see how that just clicked when I clicked on the 5-minute? So on the 5-minute chart, it lets you know when that clicked, that lets you know that that was a trade that was going on. So let me go here to the 5-minute. It gives you an alert. So on the 5-minute, the red line crossed below the blue line. Now you can't get 10 pips out of it, but you can get 5 if you use the 5-minute chart.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could see the pop-up box that came. I don't know if you're sharing the browser or the desktop, but
I'm on the desktop. Mine didn't pop up.
Okay. If you click at the very bottom where it says strategy, there's a red link. Yeah, so if everybody clicks that, you'll get a pop-up window. Kathy, do you see that?
Yeah. Can you see it?
No, it disappears for us. I think when you click share, you click share the web browser, but you got to click share desktop to show all the windows.
Okay.
That way they can see a good, like, solid visual. Yeah, there we go. So how you access this is at the very bottom, you see strategy, very bottom, strategy ECC-11, okay? You click that and you get this pop-up window, and then you come to the drop-down and you pick the ECC-11 strategy. Now, quick little tip, if you're on Safari or on mobile, you're going to want to click this button that says Save for Mobile or Safari Desktop, and then click the gold button at the top. Just a little quirk that Safari needs, little fix. Once you click that, you'll see the indicators change to what Dr. Kathy is showing on her screen. Okay, so Dr. Kathy is showing right now the ECC-11 strategy on her screen with the Ichimoku cloud and the RSI, and she just walked you through previously the rules for this, okay? So Dr. Kathy, if we were to click the EuroCAD potential buy that just came up, if we click that, it should open up the chart for it. And basically we can use your strategy to validate the high probability entry point. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, yes. I'm clicking on it now. And then it gives you, it lets you know what's happening now. Perfect. It just gives you an alert letting you know that it's going to be a buy. And as you can see, your red line is above the blue line and price is starting to come back up. But that's really the blue line there. So I had the settings changed. Now, you don't have to change these settings. On the 6, 13, and 26, just give you a clearer view of it to where you can see exactly where it's going and what it's about to do. It's still going into a buy, but I will still change the conversion line to red.
Yeah.
And every time you do that, remember that.
When you change these settings, by the way, click the defaults, save as default, and it will keep the settings when you refresh the page. So no, to the left, right there, settings, save as default, and then on the inputs as well.
Okay.
So you got to click save as default. Yep. click save as default and click OK. And then if there's any input changes you needed to make, same thing. Edit the inputs, same thing. And then defaults, save as default. And that's a quick tip for you guys as well. So just so you guys know, TradingView doesn't actually let me automatically do these settings for you guys. They allow us to use their charting platform for free and commercially, which is amazing. But they have a couple of limitations on some things you can do. So, you know, no matter, because you can go in, you can put the settings in, you can click defaults, that little drop down at the bottom left, defaults, save as default. You want to do that for right now for inputs, and then also for your styles, and then just click OK, and then you're good. Yeah, you're golden. So that'll save your settings on your indicators. You can do the same thing for the RSI if you guys ever need to change the period. Same thing, just default, save as defaults, click OK, and now if you refresh the page, the settings stay. So Kathy, so if we're evaluating this buy, does it meet the rules for the buy?
Yes, because your red line is starting to move up. Now, the reason why now, even though it hadn't crossed yet, I would still get in it based off of the alert that came. Plus, I know that it's getting ready to go up based off of the lagging span, the conversion line, which I call the money line. So those that be on my channel every morning when we're doing this, the money line, it says lagging, but it's really leading. The red line and the blue line follows it. It moves before your signal line. But for those that are not as aggressive as I am and a few others, to stay safe, to make sure to secure your bag, it's lining up with it. So now we got AUD USD for a sell on the 5-minute chart. Let's pull that up. And it's set and saved. And then it's showing that it's a sell. And it is going down into a sell.
So you
everybody see that?
Your ECC-11 strategy rules, you approve of the sell, is that correct?
Yes, I approve of the sell on the 5-minute chart. I sure do.
Perfect.
Would be nice if you would answer my question. What's your question, EDU? Sorry, I didn't see it. What's the rules for the sell? The red line below the blue line, below the cloud is the sell, or the red line below the blue line. As long as it crosses below that blue line, it's a sell. This is a scalping strategy. I thought I answered yes to that earlier. This is a scalping strategy based off of the 5 and the 15-minute chart, but you can go to the 4-hour chart. If you're more of a swing trader, just click the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart, whichever one you use. Yes, and I would recommend,
if you guys,
but the RSI is already set.
Yeah, if you guys only do swing trading, by the way, you can just uncheck the 5 and 15 minute at the top left check boxes. That's what Dr. Kathy was explaining. Uncheck the 5 and 15 minute at the top left, and then just leave on H1 and H4, and then you can click whatever setups are showing for the H1 and the H4, and then you guys can just apply the strategy she just taught you to those H1 and H4 rules on the calls, just like we just did with the EuroCAD M5 buy and the AUD USD M15 sell. You know, it's like I said, this is a very, very simple strategy. It's honestly no wonder Dr. Kathy was able to make the kind of money she makes and have the life that she's able to have. I mean, with something this simple, anybody can do it. And that's fantastic.
Yes, I have students. I have middle school kids that trade during the summer. I teach kindergartens to trade off of this during the summer. That's their summer job at my academy. This is what they do. I fund their accounts with $20, and we do this TK crossing for a sale, and they do it. Now, if you're on the 4-hour chart and you want to swing it a little longer, you see here your signal line is up, your candle is up, your price line is going up, and your Chiku span, which is your lagging span, which I call the money line, is pointed up. If you want to know how far up it's going and you want to do more than 10 pips, then you look to the left of this green line for your next high. And you look above the price line and you go all the way over here, because remember, in order for you to know where it's going in the future, you need to know where it's been in the past. And you click on that, you look on that, and you see that, okay, My green line is going up. It's going to consolidate some, and this is going to be my next take profit. Then you mark your take profit right here. So your take profit will be right in this area right here. And of course, you know, you get your line, you mark it up, and then you get in for your buy, and then you just wait. Yes, you can trade with me every morning, Monday through Thursday on IML TV, channel 17. And I usually pull up the web analyzer to show people, because a lot of people have been asking. Now, somebody asked, how do you change your settings for your time frame? You go right up here at the top. You click right here. I usually always go to the drop-down box, depending on what time frame you want to look at. And then it gives you your minutes.
And that's if you're analyzing manually, by the way. If you guys are taking the high probability setups on the left, you don't even need to use this section she's showing you. You just use the check boxes at the top left. Uncheck M5, uncheck M15, have the H1 and H4. In fact, Dr. Kathy, can you uncheck the M5 and the M15? We'll just quickly show them.
Yep.
So now you guys can see the setups with H1. The H4s occur very rarely. They're usually really, really powerful setups. So you would just click this US CAD. Let's say that this wasn't 50 minutes ago, it was right now. You'd click that. US CAD with the H1 chart will show up. And if it doesn't, then you can use the 1H button. But you click this, you analyze on the chart, you follow the rules. And Kathy, can you explain the rules one more time for us?
Okay. So we're on a higher time frame. So if the red line is above the blue line, you get in for the buy. If the red line is below the blue line, you get in for a sell. But it's going up into a buy. So I'm in agreement with it, because I'm looking at my lagging span. Remember, that moves before the other do. But for safe traders, you will want to wait until it gets above here. So it's getting ready to go up into a buy. And once that you see that going up, just like I just explained it, if you want to see it, it's giving you that buy indication right there. You see your candles. When this moved, when those candles went into a buy, it lets you know that it was going into a buy. And if you look at this, you see that it's doing the same thing. So you got about an hour. Each candle is an hour. So eventually it's going to end up into a buy. And this is going to be where it's going to go based off of where it was in the past. And like I said, if you do 5 to 10 pips off of it, it's guaranteed. If you're on a higher time frame and you want to, go a little further, then you look to the green line to the left to see where your next high is before it consolidates, pull back, or going back up. But those that swing trade, you understand all of that part. Got some questions here.
Yeah, we need to wrap up in the next 8 minutes, because David Monetier will be coming on.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, David will kind of be taking over and doing some of his blitzes. But I just noticed a little bug, you guys. When you click the H1 chart, it should automatically open US CAD on the H1. I'll be fixing that immediately. I've made a lot of updates to the software, so that's a quick fix. By right after the call, that'll be good to go. But when you click H1, when you click H4, it should open the corresponding time frame, just so you guys know. I know there's a few people who are probably asking about that, but you guys have the rules for the ECC-11. This call is recorded. Dr. Kathy, what is the best way to get your stop loss and take profit with this strategy? Real quick.
Okay, if your blue line, just say if you got in for a buy and you can use your blue line for your stop loss. So you can mark it from right here. That's what I like about the cloud. You can either set it 5 to 10 pips or 25 pips, wherever you're comfortable with, but you can use the blue line as your stop loss because it will, it will trail behind the red line. So you can use that for your stop loss and use your green line for your take profit if you go past the 10 pips, especially on the 15-minute chart. But to know more about it and to go more into details to where you can, ask your questions for a straight hour, hop on my session in the morning at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on channel 17 in the Forex Advanced channel.